You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. Do you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, my God, I'm going to change something. I always say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
If you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a place. There is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do. And you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your stem. Set it so big it jazzes you. It really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite, do you want it? Not do you need it, not could you do it. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Take the lid off your marvelous mind and dream. For goodness sake, give yourself the right to do that. Get your analytical mind out of the way. Put it in your pocket for a while. All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind waken the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.
Hey, welcome everybody to Freedom, Health and Lifestyle. Freedom, Health and Lifestyle. Can't get my words out this morning. And of course, this is personal development with a business plan. Joey is looking very sharp. I like it, Joey, in the suit. And of course, look, this is episode 122. So why not go big? That's what we're going to talk about today. And of course, this is all about thinking and doing better. You know, we all want better, right? And to get better, we have to think better and we have to do better. Right? We have to improve and get better. How do we do that? Education, maybe, failing and learning from those mistakes. But again, look, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, click the notification button. You'll learn when we're on, usually around about the same time every week. And of course, you can find me here on facebook.com/The Real Mick McQuillan. And of course, you can find my good friend, Joey. And we're going to get to hear from Joey today. I love hearing from Joey. I learned so much from him. And you can find Joey on Facebook too at joey.unger. And we're going to get into a few things today. Don't forget, links are in the description as well, where you can find Joey and one of the businesses that he operates. Of course, he's also an entrepreneur and property mogul, right? I love hearing from Joey. But listen, this episode is all about, so why not go big? why not go big? But before we get into that, and I've got a few videos to help with, I've got Bob Proctor. We love Bob. Do you know him? But Joey, say hello.
Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure that I'm not mute. Hey, good day, everyone. This is Joey Magaunga here from Sydney, Australia. Every Sunday is a blessing for me to be on the present of my good friend Mike McGillian. And sorry, my voice a little bit lost. I haven't. I'm doing the GoPro training for 3 days, and 2 days has been done. And those 2 days start waking up around 2:00 and go to the gym for a quick stretch and come back and get ready to start at 3:00 until 1:00 in the. And today was for some reason I maybe from the training, the vibration is still kick in, and maybe after this podcast I'll have a nice sleep, and hopefully I won't miss the last day of the training tomorrow. I think they saved the last to the last day. So, but anyway, good day everyone. Is welcome everyone, and it's a joy and also a honor and a blessing to both of us to serve you. And I think we are here because we want to contribute. We want to be in service to many, and we are very grateful for the platform of StreamYard, social media, including YouTube, and my good friend Mike. I every day I thank God because of you, the journey that we are on partnership together. We help a lot in a lot of ways, even though we live in a different part of the world, long distance. But I think the more we come together, it's like you're my older brother from another mother. So very proud to hear that in public, and you just need to come more often to South so you can get more tan like myself. But
yes, yeah, I agree with that. I agree. It's like I'm like a milk bottle. Look.
I think yeah. So
careful, because all my freckles will come out.
Yeah.
But absolutely.
Yeah. I can't wait to one day we'll be able to meet in person, and a lot of our audience that they don't know us. We are a stranger. We're both a stranger, and then a stranger become a friend, and a friend become a family now. So I want to miss our daily week session and our podcast, because you've done a lot for our podcast, and I mentioned a few times, even when I was away in the army service, I still thinking about my good friend Mike is all still holding the fork and still sharing the good news and contribute to a lot of people. And tonight it's the same thing. We are here because we want to serve a lot of people, and doing that we have to share some experience and some knowledge and some blessing that we experience in our journey. So tonight is going to be a great night and a blessing night too.
So Joey, it's the last day of the GoPro 2025, right? So what time does that kick off for your time?
3:00 in the morning, Mike.
So you've got about 5 hours before it starts, is it? 5 or 6 hours? What time is it there now? 9 p.m.
Yeah. 9 p.m. here. So plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Good,
okay.
Good. All right, that'll be interesting. So what time does it kick off for me then? So it must kick off for me around about 4:00.
Yeah.
I think you can still get tickets for that if if you're watching live and you want to get on it. You can still get tickets. I think you can get a ticket for about $97.
No, $3.
$3.
Yeah.
Damn. No, listen, I might get on that. Because that'd be interesting. But Joey, I've got some videos for us to go through, right? And this is about I mentioned last week that I was doing this thing, that I was going to start my own network marketing company. And I spoke to a good friend of ours, Megan McCurdy, last week, and I was telling her what I was planning on doing, and she was like, "Wow, bloody hell, that's a big thing." But she said, "I think you can do it." And I even thought about trying to get in touch with Eric Worre to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? But obviously he's busy at the moment, right? Now, and to be honest, listen, I've already started working on it. Like we've got the concept. We kind of know what the concept is anyway. But we started working on the plan, the compensation plan, everything else like this. We're starting to look at different software that we can use, because obviously everything has to be tracked and everything else like this. But, this topic, so why not go big, is just a reminder of the size of your dream often decides the size of your result. And if you aim small, you limit what's possible before you even get started, right? But when you choose to think bigger goals, bigger impact, bigger belief, you give yourself room to grow into the person who can achieve them, because that's what it's about, Joey. When you're starting in this place, you grow into that person. You grow into that. Like, look at the growth that you've had over the last four years. And to be honest, you can tell your story. But just to summarize quickly, from a hospital bed to owning several properties, building a property portfolio, actually buying properties and working with your son, to flip these properties and things like this. Those, talk about, bigger goals, bigger impact, bigger belief. Do you know what I mean? Like, you weren't thinking that, 5 years ago. Something happened and, which, you decided then you wanted to do something. So now it doesn't mean being reckless. It means refusing to shrink your ambition out of fear. We talked about fear last week. I was saying that I was nervous and was kind of scared. It was like, but that's when that doubt creeps in. That's when that crap creeps into your mind, to try and put you off. And, big dreams push you to learn, stretch, and take bolder steps. And if you're going to put in the effort anyway, and you are putting in the effort. When I think about you, Joey, and the effort that you were putting in, before, working 3 jobs, driving backwards and forwards, like, doing commutes, working at the church, volunteering at the church, doing all kinds of different things, like, you're putting in the effort. You might as well aim for something that excites you, and builds a future that not just you're proud of, but that leaves a legacy, for your kids. We were talking about this last week, Joey, and how, when you changed, your kids are watching you, people are watching you. And then all of a sudden, nothing's happening. Everybody thinks you're crazy. You're mad. What are you doing? And then all of a sudden, the pieces start coming together. And then all of a sudden, your kids are like, I want to do what you're doing, Dad. I want to be around you. Why? Because you're starting to smell like success, right? Your aura's changed, and it's amazing. I love it. So why not go big? Why not do what Joey did and go big? Joey's not even finished. Joey's just on the steps, to get bigger. So, before we get into the videos, Joe, have you got anything you want to add to encourage people to go big? Or why not go big?
Yeah. Mike, if you can share my Facebook, I just put a post today on my journey, and I think it related to what you just said in regard to my family, especially my kids. The contribution, the legacy you want to build. I always tell my story. I'm just an ordinary island boy. Came from a small remote island in Tonga. That island is called Niua Tapu, and what I do, I used to climb coconut trees. So there's one of the posts that I just post today. One is pinned, and the next one will be.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I'm currently live too. So if you go back, yeah, go down.
Down.
Yeah, to the post. To my feet. You can see
this one here.
No. Not my feet.
Let's have a look.
Maybe click on that one. See those messenger and the notification on top. Yeah, the other one. The other one.
It won't let me do anything. Hold on, this is my stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on, you can talk. Let me see if I can find this.
Yeah. The reason why I want you to share that. Yeah. Go down. That's us. That
Yeah.
one. That one. If you can click on that one, that's the, I make a, I love, I realize, someone told me, Joey, and I think you are one of those people. You encouraged me to share my story. I used to go to church and service in church. Like I used to be a Sunday school teacher, youth leaders, and, even a lay preacher. But, now I don't involve much in the church, but I carry my faith with me everywhere. And I realized that sharing my story with the world is a part of extended my reach and my contribution and influence to the world. And today, I make a post of myself. My daughter want to join me as an accountability partner to the GoPro, and she ended up sleeping on the floor at my office. And I love to make a post. She didn't like it, but I thought it's funny because that's the legacy I want to leave. I want my
Yeah.
kids back one day and remember that while they were sleeping, I was working, and that's part of the spirit in me. Instead of work um, go small, why don't we go big? And part of go big is make a lot of sacrifice and discipline. And I enjoy it. It feeds my energy, it feeds my spirit when I see my kids hang around, whether they sleep on the floor or watching me. It feeds my spirit because I realize it's, I have a gift, and the gift is to improve or inspire other peoples to look up a little bit better. Because when we go small, we do a disservice to the world. But as soon we decided to go big, we're doing a service to the world. Whether with our ambition, like yourself, your vision to the world, and also what you're going to build with your company. I think when we go small, we are doing a disservice to the world. But when we start to think big, go big, do big things in life, we're doing a good service to the world. We are answer our calling, and everyone have different calling in this world. Some people were calling to be working in the church, or become a minister. And I got that a lot when I was involved in the church. A lot of people think that I am a minister. I am I should be in the theology college. But I know my calling was not only limited to the church, but it's to the world. And thank God I found our professional, and our professional has helped me to reach a lot of people in my journey. And as someone talk about Ireland, I know someone there, and his name is Mike McKillian. And someone talk about in US, I know people there like Eric Worre, Jeff Beebe's, and the people that make a contribution to my journey. So I'm very grateful. Thank you for allowing me to share that, because like I said, when you go small in life, or think small in life, you're doing a disservice to this world. As soon you decided, because decide is different from making a choice. Decided is you have to bend the ship. You have to cut something down. It's come from maybe a Latin word or Greek word. To cut die with something. So when you make a decision, especially committee decision, you bend the ship. And I think there's a story in Thinking and Grow Rich about that. They went to fight somewhere, and the general said, as soon they landed on the island, he told the crew to bend the ship. And everyone was questioned, like confusing, why the general bend the ship. And then the general said, either we win the war or we die in this place. So the only way to go back home safe and alive is to win the war. So that's how I see with our topic this week. Why not go big? When we go big, that's when we answer the call that was calling for us since we were born to this world.
I'm just writing on your timeline here. Good job, Joey. You're doing amazing. You really are doing amazing. I'm so happy. That I know you. Because I think when people realize that if they just grab onto your coattails, and I was thinking about you the other day, actually, because I remember you saying, God, it was a while back. God, it was maybe back in episode 3 or 4 or something. You were talking about how you might be able to carry one, but you can't carry 10, and that just popped into my mind. And there's no doubt that you've lifted yourself up. There's no doubt that you're able to carry someone over the line, but they have to hold on as well. They need to grab onto your coattails. Do you know what I mean? But there's no doubt you're making a difference for people. But they have to want it for themselves too. Do you know what I mean? And that's the importance of having a big dream, and going for it, right? And absolutely going all in. You don't get wet if you don't jump in the pool. You've got to jump in the pool. You've got to get in, and it can be scary, especially if you're up at the deep end, but no one asks you to get in at the deep end. They ask you to get in at the shallow end, and try and teach you how to swim in there, But if you're just sitting on the edge, dipping your toe in, what kind of results are you going to get? Small kind of results. Do you know what I mean? So I would take Joey's advice, and one thing that Joey says a lot is to be a good student. Do you know what I mean? You got to be a good student. You got to learn, right? Watch other people, like watch Joey. Watch what Joey's doing. Watch what I'm doing. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. What are you doing tonight? You're being a good student tonight, right? You don't need to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't do it. It's a choice. You're making a committed decision to work on you, right? So that you can get better, right? That makes so much sense, Joey. That's why you're an inspiration. Do you know what I mean? And that's why you succeed, because you're prepared to do things that others aren't. That's the only difference. One of the differences. Right, let's get into some of these videos and we'll have a look and we'll get Joey's comments.
Go big, Fred. I want you to dream a dream that's way bigger than you think is possible. Because no matter what you dream, it's going to take work and there will always be doubt. So why not go big? Because friend, if you reach for the stars, even if you don't get all the way, I think you'll be left with a pretty good view. And I think it's worth it. I'll see you out there, alright? Love.
To be honest, you've heard that expression, Joey, reach for the stars, and you might get to the moon, and that's pretty good, right? You can live with that. But why it's easy to sit here and say, why not go big? But what holds people back, Joey? What holds people back?
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. I think what I learned in our journey, in my journey, and also our journey together in our entrepreneurship journey, and also our professional. It's come down to what people think. Our mind is a very powerful equipment, powerful gift that we have. You are who you think you are. You are who you think all day. If you think that you can't, you can't. If you think you can do this, I think there's a good chance that you can do this, because our mind is very, very powerful. Whatever we tell our mind, and we're thinking in pictures. And like we're just talking about going to the moon, going to the shooting for the star. And a lot of people, when John F. Kennedy say that on his campaign, that we that we're going to take the man to the moon, everyone was doubting. Everyone was thinking how they're going to do. And I think he spoke to one of the godfather of the space, the people who went.
Werner von Braun.
Yeah, he asked the question, how can we take a man from the earth to the moon? And I think, I repeat what Bob said. Bob, Vaughan said to the president, or John F. Kennedy, the will to do it. And I think, what we think about it, and we feel emotion about it, it's developed in us the will the desire backed by faith, even though it was never done before. No one in the family have done before. And I can refer that to my journey. I remember I said to myself, I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family. I'm laughing about it because it's so true. True story. When I started my journey, I said to myself, one of my big goal, I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family. And I have no idea how I'm going to do it, to be honest with you. But, and I just go about, and then I just think about go big, and I just, searching, looking, find a mentor, and just follow, what they told me. And one day I sit down with one of my business partner in real estate, and he said to me, "Let me work out your financial situation, your serviceability, your financial situation." And he asked me the question, and I sleep, and I said, "I want to be the first millionaire." No. He asked me, "What is your goal in life?" And I said, I want to accumulate, build my portfolio in real estate. In 5 years, I want to accumulate, numbers, and I give him the numbers. And then for some reason, I said to him, hold on, I have a kind of like a equal kind of a goal, When I first started, I just said to myself, I want to be the first millionaire in my family. And, this is a funny one. I laugh about it because he left my place and he went. The next day, the phone ringing. He said to me, "You know what he said to me last night?" And I said to him, "What did I say?" He said, "You told me you're going to be the first millionaire in your family." And he said to me, when we look, me and the broker look at your financial situation, you are already a bloody millionaire. The way, we look at your asset, if we liquid it, or, we sell everything, to turn it to a capital, you're already a millionaire. And I couldn't believe in myself. And he said to me, stop using that goals as an excuse now. You have to think a bigger goal now. And, I say that, but, it's funny. Sometimes our mind can trick us in a good way, and sometimes it can trick us in a bad way, but if your intention, like we shared how many times do things with the right intention. If we have the right attitude, and I believe in that, if you have the right attitude in whatever you do, whether it's to build a business, to help a lot of people with their health and financial situation, or to invest in real estate because you want to build a financial stability for your family, if you have the right attitude, right intention, for some reason, it will work out for you. As long as you don't quit, persevere. And like you said, when it first started, I have no idea how to do it, but as soon as I make the committed decision, and it's funny, when I studied personal development, I found out that I already, they talk about in personal development, you have to set a goal, you have to manifest it, you have to visualize it. I already done that, in some shape and form, but I didn't know it. Maybe I was wishing and hoping, but it's part of the process for me to make the unreal reality to reality. Do you know what I mean? So
I do know what you mean, Joe. Yeah, I do know. And, there is a formula, right? There's, and you need, it's like when you make a cake, you need all of the ingredients. Do you know what I mean? To make a cake. And, with what you're doing, you've got the ingredients. You've got all of the ingredients, and you're using it, and you're putting it in the right order. You're doing things in the right way, and you're constantly working on yourself, and improving yourself, improving your mind, But not only that, you're also taking the action. What is it you say? Be coachable. You've got to be coachable. You don't know everything. No one knows everything. Do you know what I mean? There's always someone who can give you who you can learn from. And it doesn't matter whether they're high in your organization or down deep in your organization. You can learn from everybody, and you're humble enough to know that. And, to be honest, Joey, you're just doing incredible. You're doing an amazing job, and you make a real difference. And some of this next video is some of what you're talking about.
Get the new car before they're happy. They're happy now working on making the money so they can buy the new car. They don't wait until they get the new car before they're happy. They're happy now working on making the money so they can buy the new car. It's the process that's the thing you enjoy. Remember this phrase, the journey is the reward.
Go on.
Oh, it's very relatable, Mike, and you're so right. You know, a lot of people, they might be thinking, you know, what is Joey doing? You know, he's doing this, he's doing this. For me, you know, I keep telling my kids, the financial reward is the last thing that come to me. Why I have the energy and the joy to doing the things, because of the person I become in the journey. And that's what he's talking about. You know, I don't wait until I got the new house or the new car and then I'm happy. No, I'm happy in knowing that I'm, you know, go out there and, you know, dream out loud, go out there and just live my best life and, you know, have a go, have a, challenge myself and, you know, go big in life, you know. And even though I haven't got to the star yet, but I enjoy seeing the view of going up in the sky, you know, seeing the moon, you know, and seeing the other things in life, because, you know, it's you have to know three things to get where you want to go in life. You have to be, do, and have. And a lot of people want to reverse that, and I think that's what he was talking about. A lot of people want to have the car, the new car, have the new house before they're happy, you know. For me, what I learned is to have the new car. You have to become the person that deserves the new car or the new house, the new career, new success in life. You have to become that person, and you have to do the thing. That's why, you know, my family was, you know, I wrote the post today because sometimes I know my family was thinking, man, come on, Dad, give up, you know, do something else, do something different, you know, because, you know, they found me a few times just sleeping on my desk in my office and, you know, sometimes on the floor, you know, but I enjoy that because I know I'm growing. I'm, you know, every no, every failure, every objection, every rejection, it kind of helped me to grow a little bit more. And, you know I'm not a tree that I can grow to a certain height and I just stop there. I can grow to any height that I want in life. And it's related to our topic tonight. Why not go why not go big, you know? Because when you challenge yourself, you expand, you know, you express yourself in a different way. And that's what he's exactly talking about. You are happy in the process because you know you are expanding and expressing at the same time.
Joey, it is, and I put a comment there, and it is a little bit like this. You know, you can be happy knowing it's on the way. Do you know what I mean? You know, because you're doing those things that you need to do. There's contentment in it. You talked about it last week. You talked about, you know, you can be happy and grateful with what you've got, but you don't need to be satisfied. You can still want more. You know, you can want to do more, you can want to be more, you can want to help more people, you know. So knowing that, you know, when you're taking the action that you're taking, whether it be self-education, whether it be reaching out, whether it be starting conversations, whatever it is, you know that those actions are only going to bring you those things that you want, you know, in your life, you know, in your family's life, you know, and, you know, in your community. You know that it's going to bring those things. You know, like you getting another property is you're creating a home for somebody else. Is that not a good thing to do? Absolutely. Does it benefit that family that are living in that house? Absolutely. Does it benefit you? Absolutely. Everybody's winning. You know? So, hey, listen, Joey, I'm following you at this stage.
Just kids play with until they get a little older. The imagination, he'll sit, is the most marvelous miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. You have one. It's one of your higher faculties. That was that sacred gift. Should we understand it? Should we exercise it and use it for the good that we want? I think we should.
What are you thinking?
We gotta love Bob, and we give the credit back to Bob because you and I are a great student of Bob Proctor with his materials, and I always share my story because Bob legacy live on because as people like us, we tell the story and we mention his name on our testimony, and I think that's one of the things that I share my story and help a lot of a lot of people to realize that's one of the reward that I chase in life, and that's why I want to go big. Is hopefully one day is the contribution that I made that one day someone testimony, telling their story or the successful story or the story of comeback story, your name and my name will appear on their testimony because they might be watching this program today and something click in them and they went and changed in their life, whether it's their health or financial health or relationship health, and things change, and we don't take the credit from them, because we all know it's what's happened for them to be watching this program or be part of this program tonight, but it was happened for them for reason so that people like us, we are vessel, we are medium of God gift and present in this world. And we are here to share the love. We're here to share the blessing with others through our experience, our challenge, our adversity that we go through, the professional that we have, the vehicle that we have, the business that we build, and something like that. So Bob mentioned about imagination. As human being, we're thinking in beaches, and as soon we think about wealth, people thinking about driving a nice car, a Ferrari, a Mercedes, and maybe thinking about a nice house in the beach. And that's those images, it's come to reality. It was a lie. At first it was a lie because you haven't seen it. You haven't touched it, feel it. That's why a lot of people, we learn in our professional and our, as a personal growth, that the coach or the mentor encourage the student to go to a car dealer and go and test drive a car, smell it, feel it, have the feeling of owning that car before they have the money to buy that car. Because when you feed your mind, remember, it's our thinking is like we're thinking in beaches, and those images, create emotional in ourself, and when it create our emotion in ourselves, it create a desire, and if the desire is right intention, it is come backed by faith. That's why a lot of people go to work. They go and look for something that it will allow them to become the best and they want to become, so that they can do the things that they want to do to get to their goals and have that goals, whether it's a car, nice beach or successful career, or become a successful entrepreneur, anything they want to do become. But imagination is a very powerful tool. And Bob said, if you tell a lie to yourself a lot of time, unfortunately that lie will become a reality. And we use the gold card to write down what we really want in life, and Bob used to say, carry them in your pocket, and I carry them in my left hand side of my close to my heart. It's like a child thinking, but that's how way we train. And when our mentor says something to us and encourage us to do, we just do it anyway, even though we think, man, this is hopeless. What is a gold card can do? But over time, you look at it before you go to bed, you look at it before you wake up in the morning, strange things happen. And Elle Nightingale talk about it. The thing that differentiates successful people and unsuccessful people is successful people, they have goals, they have a destination, they have a course in their life, or indefinite definite goals or definite purpose, so they know where they want to go, whether to achieve a new car, a new home, a lot of money or something like that, live a free financial freedom, or stability financial situation, but those ideas are all manifest because you keep rewinding. If you keep playing a music all the time, that lyric of that music will come part of your being. And in army, we call that, that's why we practice a lot, like for shooting. And what we do is to create a muscle memory, so it becomes part of our being. And when it's become part of our being, everything we touch, it's related to that goal. So we move, we talk, we act, we like. And this is going back to what Bob said in the video. That's why our little 5-minute video is very powerful, because before we have that thing, we already start to become that person and be that person and do things that to achieve that.
It's true, Joey. And we'll hop on to this next one, right? Because this is going to add to what you're saying.
Would sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, okay? And then start to visualize in their mind, see themselves the way they want to see themselves. I dream. They get the picture on the mind and then paint it on the wall or on the canvas. Well, if we would relax and build the image in our mind, but write out a description of how you'd like to see yourself. Start to read it and read it and read it and read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers all down through history have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it, we become what we think about. Now, it may be fantasy at first, it might even appear to us as being a lie. But if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it. And when William James said, believe and your belief will create the fact, you will see the person's personality change.
Oh my God. There's a lot of good nugget there, Mike. And
there is,
I would like your thought, because I've been I've been talking too much.
it's not enough, but everything that you're saying really just goes to show that how you have immersed yourself, into your own world, of what it is that you want. Because those things are you are creating your environment, you're creating your reality. And we all do that, Joey. Every one of us does it. I was with a young lad the other day, only 23, nice young guy. And I was saying to him, look, why is it that, so we're in separate timelines, not time zones, timelines. Why is it that my timeline, people enjoy being around me. They feel uplifted when I come into a room. They automatically smile and their energy rises. But when you walk into the room, people they're going in different directions. They're trying to get away from you. But it's the same. Why is my timeline different from your timeline? Because it's based on your vibration. That's what it's about. You have raised your vibration. From where you were to where you are now. Are you where you want to be? No. Are you happy with what you've got? Yes. You're loving the journey. Knowing that it's on its way. Do you know what I mean? You've accepted it. And it's just incredible. I love it. And I'm just as excited as I'm excited for you, but I'm just excited for me and what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's incredible. The difference that you're making in people's lives, whether it be property, whether it be, financial health, whether it be physical health, whatever it is, I'm super excited for the people that you're going to help, but I'm also super excited for the people that I'm going to help. Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference that it is. And that's where it comes. And a really good friend of ours, Heather King, she always talks about shining in your service to others. And that's where it starts. You have to, it's not about being selfish. It's about being selfless in that sense, and it's fun. I love it, Joe. It is all about the journey. When you think about it, it's all about the journey. You want to like if you can, what is it Bob says? If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Right? That's what he talks about. Right.
Absolutely.
Let's get on to the next one. Let's see where we're at.
Yourself why we think we have to work hard if we're going to win. It's not good information. In fact, it's a lie. Stop and think of some of the people you know that have been working real hard for a long time and they're not winning at all. They're broke. This is Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. He writes in here there are 30 major causes of failure. There's 13 principles of success. Now listen to this. He said, if you are one of those people who believe that hard work and honesty alone will bring riches, perish the thought because it is not true. Riches, when they come in huge quantities, are never the result of hard work. Riches come, if they come at all, in response to definite demands based upon the application of definite principles and not by chance or luck.
That just makes me more excited, Joey.
Yep.
It does. It just makes me more excited because it just means that it's about taking action, the right attitude. And, look, I think your words say it best when you talk about be a good student. Because, I could do things today that don't work, and then I could repeat them again tomorrow, and they don't work. And the next day they don't work, and the next day they don't work. I could spend 30 years doing that. Why am I doing those things that aren't giving me what I want? What is it that I'm thinking? Do you know what I mean? Or am I not thinking? Or am I just following the doctrine of what I've been taught? Go to school, get a good education, get a job, do a 9 to 5 for 40 years, retire, and then you can go and have some fun. Who wants, I don't want that. I want more than that. And I think most people do want more than that. But it's about how do you take that, to be honest, Think and Grow Rich is probably the book that everybody should read because it does give you those principles. It does lay it out. And of course, then, I think there's a book just on those 13 principles, the 13 principles of success, that book's there. In fact, I remember reading that. And that's where that quote comes from. You never change things by fighting, the existing reality. To change something, you build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And that forms one of those 13 principles, that you have to change something. And I struggled with that, just with this, because I was thinking, how do I change my thinking? Because most of our thinking is habitual, about 80,000 thoughts a day, same thoughts that we had yesterday and the day before and the day before. How do you change it? You have to recognize it, don't you? You have to listen. You have to be a student of yourself too. You have to listen to what thoughts you're having and say, hold on a second, I actually agree with that. Or you have to stop yourself, in the moment and say, hold on a second, I need to do it now. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Do it now. Make that call now. Speak to that person now. Do you know what I mean? Knowing that your actions are going to give you the life that you want tomorrow. Because we improve daily. Like the things that you do today are going to impact on your life tomorrow. If you don't do anything different today, you're going to get the same day tomorrow that you've got today. Do you know, we have to do things differently. So anyway, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, you're so right, Mike. And I think Bob have a lot. The way he changed a lot of things in he called it the paradigm. Paradigm is the old software or program that was instilled to us, and everyone grow up with their own paradigm. And it starts from the parent that you grew up from, your sibling, your environment, your church, your school that you went to, primary school, high school, university, and the workplace. We've been programmed in a certain way. And to write a new program, it's not something that is going to happen overnight. It takes time. That's why a lot of people do the same thing every day, thinking that wealth and uh, wealth creation and financial freedom it's come by work hard. That's because that's what they've been told from very young age. When I first introduced to Bob, he mentioned this one a few times. He said, but it coming from the book, the Thinking and Grow Rich. That rich when rich start or wealth want to come to someone, it has to be meet with the definite purpose of that person. They have to be meet with the right intention of that person. And when rich, and I think that's one of the things that encouraged me in my journey. When I didn't see the result for how many years, or in my career, or in our professional in our industry, I just remind myself of what Bob said, or what the quote come from the thing. Keep working on yourself, work hard on yourself more than you work hard on your business, because when the income you decided to come, they come in a huge quantity, and you have to be ready to accept that. You have to align, be ready to receive them, because and there's another book, The Richest Man in Babylon said, how much you make, but how much you can keep. Because those gifts and those blessings, whether they come in the form of financial blessing or physical blessing or relationship blessing, they come in a huge quantity. And Bob used the financial side and the wealth side. When wealth decide to come to a person that he desire, and require that financial wealth or financial freedom, you have to be prepared. And sometimes I keep telling myself, maybe I don't have the result because God want me to work hard on myself. And I think that's the thing that I changed now. I used to think, I work hard on try different things. Like I built a big oven in my backyard with a friend for 1 year. Took us, cost us more than $5,000 or something like that, close to 10 grand. And we didn't get any return much from it. But I learned from it, and then I went and become a handyman. Went to people's houses and cutting lawns and cleaning houses for professional like lawyer and a doctor, and I got ripped off by many times. I didn't earn what I deserved to be earned from my time and effort, and that's working hard. And when I learned about myself, I realized that's why it's important if you want something in life, whether it's financial wealth or health wealth and stuff like that, you have to become, you have to do to have the things you want in life. That's why you work first on yourself. You work on your mindset. You work on your paradigm. Change the reality that you grow up with. They change the program that you used to go up and said, working hard will make you success. No, you don't have to work hard. Now, I don't work hard like before, but I enjoy more of the journey because I realize I'm working on myself, get ready for the abundance and prosperity or the wealth that I desire to have in life. And when they decide to come, when God thinking, you ready, you're gonna give it to me, no doubt about it.
Joey, so you are right there in that sense, because you get tested along the way. And to be honest, you mentioned Earl Nightingale, and he talks about what is it, 6 feet from gold, or what's the phrase, and so you get tested. Life tests you, and you have to grow to get through it. You have to grow through it. Do you know? To come out the other end, to come out the other side, so that you deserve the reward. That's why when people win the lottery and they get all this huge amount of wealth, usually within a few years it's all gone and they've lost it all, because they haven't grown into it, or they haven't, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. They just didn't know. They just don't know. So there's no doubt that the journey, is the reward. The results come after you do the work. The reward comes, after you've put everything into it. And that's what it's going to take, Joey. It takes everything. That's why I mean, you can't get wet without getting in the pool. You have to get wet. You have to get in. You have to get your shoulders under. Maybe you're going to struggle a little bit, but there's plenty of life aids, like, to help keep you afloat. There's plenty of people out there that you can hang on to that'll teach you how to swim. But you have to get in the pool. You have to get in that pool of life, or whatever that business pool is that you're getting into, whether it's property, whether it's network marketing, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You've got to get in. But, you've got to jump in. You've got to go. I would recommend that you go in head first. Just get straight in, shock and all, right? And it's like, oh, God, it's not that bad in here after all, But you have to experience the experience, To be honest, like, you can play safe. You talked about this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, playing small. You talked about it, Joey, So, I think you're just a great example. Let's watch this last video, and then we're going to finish with your final thoughts, all right? So, see what Bob has to say.
After something you seriously want. Not something I want you to want, not something your wife wants you to want, or your husband wants you to want, or your parent wants you to want, or your trainer wants you to want. You gotta really want it. That's the prerequisite. The only prerequisite to set a goal, you gotta really want it. Hillary really wanted to get to the top of Mount Everest. Nobody had ever done it. Nobody could believe that he could even do it, but he believed it. You've got to really want it. Don't have to know how to do it. You don't have to know where the money's coming from. You don't have to know how it's going to happen, but you've got to really want it. As you take that want and turn it over and plant it in your heart, that becomes a desire. Desire is the effort of the unexpressed possibility within, seeking expression without through your action. Desire automatically expresses itself. So if you're talking about boredom, it's not something you really want. It's probably something that's maybe prestigious or something other people think, boy, you did that, but you're not. You don't have a desire for it, and you don't really want it. The want comes first. The desire comes from planting it in your mind over and over and over again. The desire is the effort of the unexpressed possibility within, seeking expression without through your action.
Right. That's quite interesting. And we're going to get Joey's final thoughts, right? And of course, this is episode 122. So why not go big? Joey, let's hear your final thoughts.
Thank you, Mike. Always a blessing and an honor to do this part of the podcast tonight. And if you're watching this from all over the world, we want to say we appreciate you for taking time to check it out, our contribution tonight. And we're not perfect. We're just ordinary people, grow up in a family that learn to do hard work and be in service to others. And now we're both entrepreneur and into business and investing. But the thing that we are very proud is the decision that we make. We make a committed decision that we're gonna be, instead of go small, we're gonna go big. And tonight our episode is 122. For a lot of people, man, that's a lot. But we just warm it up. This is we just scraped the bottom of the barrel. We're gonna go big, and I'm very grateful, Mike, that we have the opportunity every week to serve the people around the world. And our little podcast, I know it's very unknown, and I hope one day that we look back and we're glad that you archive this and store them in the cloud somewhere for other people to review it, and hopefully would inspire them. Inspire for us is to help you look up a little bit better. And if our words and our deed and our experience help you to look up a little bit better, our wish and our hope for you to go big. Stop playing small, because when we're playing small, we're doing a disservice to this world. We didn't put in this world to play small, to just be happy with what we get. We put in this world with a spirit of entrepreneur, with spirit of business owner, business or a spirit of investor, spirit of being service to other people. And those spirit, it differentiate us from the animal kingdom, because we are the only one that have the spirit to express and to expand in a magnificent way. And we can go big, we can jump big, we can jump higher, we can travel more, we can earn more, because of our spirit. And Bob talked about the last clips about what do you really want. And I think the video that we're going to listen to, he will emphasize the one has to come from inside. Because what we think about all day long, if we develop a picture, a vivid picture, not a maybe or a wishy or a hoping picture. If you want to be financial free, you have to create a picture of financial free. If you want to buy a house for your family, you have to create that picture vividly in your mind, and you put that picture into your heart. How do you do that? By act on it. You have to be and do and have. To get what you want in life, you have to become the person that you really, really want to deserve to have the things in life. And you have not only you learn about yourself, you work hard on yourself, but you have to do the work. The work, the learning is come from doing. It's not only reading the books, show up in the podcast like this, or watching a YouTube, or go to an event or training. You have to do the work. And do the work is applying yourself, put yourself out there, building a brand that everyone wants to know, building a brand that contribute and help a lot of people. Because our wants, it's come from inside. When it's come from inside, it's easy to express and expand in a lot of ways. That's why a lot of people think, I've been doing a lot of things, hard working, and it's I did hard working for a long time, and it ended me up in a hospital bed. And then I realized the reason why I end up in hospital bed, I didn't enjoy what I do. I didn't enjoy what I work hard on. I still work hard, but now I enjoy the working hard, because I know I have grown as a person. I have growing as a human being, to become the person that I deserve, to the level of success that I want in life. And it didn't happen overnight. And I have to disclose, I'm still on a journey. I'm still a student. I'm still willing, coachable, and hungry all the time. And then tonight, same thing. We want to share with you, if you still play small in life, maybe go big. Because don't go small, because if you play small in life, you're doing a disservice to yourself, to your loved ones, and to the world. And the person who created you in my faith is God. So when you go big, that's the time you answer the goal. And a lot of people said, oh, I answer my goal, and I'm doing this because that's what God called me. For me, you answer the goal when you go big, when you do something that get you out of your comfort zone, because that's what God wants us to do. God wants us to create the lifestyle that we want, create the health that we want. And when I understand the concept that we are co-creator with God, God not only create everything, He wants us to create our own lifestyle. God give us the gift, give us the opportunity, give us the talent, give us the knowledge, the mind, the health. And our job is to create the life that we deserve in life. I have a good story that Anna is like a good example of what I'm talking about, and I want to finish it with it. There was a priest living in the community, and he always ride on his bike to see the people in the community. And there was a farmer in the church, and one day he ran past the farmer place, and he looked, the farmer have a beautiful home, nice garden, nice farm, nice and clean, all maintenance. And then one day he saw the farm on his tractor, and the priest stopped and greeted the farmer, and he said to the farmer, "Farmer, you are being blessed. The good Lord has been blessed you with this great land, great farm, nice house, and a nice servant, and nice family." You know what the farmer said? The farmer said, I really appreciate, priest, what you said, but you should see in this place when God had it for himself. And the theme of the story, the lesson from that story, you know, you know, um, you have to create the life that you deserve in life. God won't give it to you until you do the things to achieve that. God won't give it to you until you become the person that you deserve to have that success, deserve to have that nice garden, the nice farm. So it's our job to take what God has given to us, planting in ourselves, in our mind, and putting in our heart, feel about it and go out and do something about it, cultivate it every day. And I think, to say a little bit of myself and Mike, what we do, we cultivate, we guard our mind, we make the committee decision. This is what we're going to do, whether with our business, whether with our entrepreneur journey, or the investing or building a business. We make the committee decision, and we know we have to guard our mind, because the small mind will come and say, "Hey, I told you this thing is not going to work. I told you you go too big very quickly. I told you, no one done it before, or someone done it before and never success." You need to guard it. And for myself and Mike, this is one way of guarding our mind. Because we know our mind is very powerful too. We have to feed our mind, reading the books, listen to audio books, go to a seminar, go to an event, associate ourselves with the right people that uplifting you, people that encourage you, people that stretch you, push you towards your goals. And, I just want to say that because it's very important for us. If you're thinking about to go big, you have to to have what you want in life. And to have that, you need to make a committed decision. What do you really, really want in life? And it has to come from inside. Because if it's come from inside, then you realize the waking up late at night to do your work, it's part of the process. You embrace it, you love it, you enjoy it, because it's not working hard. People look at you, "Oh, Joey is working hard, Mike is working hard, they're still working while everyone's sleepy." No, we enjoy what we do, because we realize, we work on ourselves, we have the understanding, we work hard on ourselves more than work hard on our business, or what we want to do in life. And when the right intention and the right value and the right ethic and integrity, we do it, things start to puzzle up, things start to add up together to the goodness of people who have faith. And I think I take that one from the Bible. Bible said, all things work together for those that they have faith in God, faith in their creator, and also have the right intention for what they do in life. So whatever you touch, whatever you present, whatever you go, you're going to be a blessing instead of a curse for that place. Whatever company you join, you're going to be a blessing for that company. Whatever career you want to participate, professional you want to participate, a company, organization, community, church, you're going to be a blessing, because you've been blessed when you put in this world, and it's your job and my job to make that blessing count by becoming the person that you want to become, and do the things in the right intention, with integrity, with the right value, so that you can have the abundance, the prosperity, the life that you really, really want in life. Mike McGillen, thank you very much for the time. I really appreciate it. Sorry I take you 10 minutes of your podcast tonight, but I hope we add value in some way. And I do believe we add value in some way. And thanks for our audience tonight for their participate. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joey. And listen, you said a lot of really good stuff there. And let me just tell you, I wouldn't have made the strides without this on a Sunday. I would never have had that idea that I had 2 weeks ago. Just wouldn't have happened. You know, like I had to mature into that idea. And I did that through this process of being around successful people who are striving and trying to do more, to do better, to make a bigger difference. You know, so there's no doubt that being here on a Sunday, you know, is helping me improve my environment. There's no doubt that it's helping you improve your environment, Joey. It does. And like you say, you know, if someone sees this and they just think it's just two guys just chatting away, you know, about their life and about possible success, and they watch the first video, you know, and then they watch the most recent video, they're going to see it. They're going to see that growth, right? They're going to see it. You and I could see it. I can feel it. Do you know what I mean? You know, I can see a bigger vision for myself. You know, if I was just kind of bumming around every Sunday for the last so many, you know, episodes and not working on myself like we are today, where would I be? I would not be here. I wouldn't be creating the future that I'm trying to create for myself. You know, I'd be, you know, just feeling sorry for myself, wondering why nothing's changing. But now I'm not like, now I don't feel like that, because I'm changing it, because I have the power to change it, and you do too, and everybody does. You just got to embrace that power, you know, and get on with it. Right, listen, we're going to play out with my favorite video. Don't care what anybody else says, right? You know, because it's all in here. It's all in here, right? Everything you need to know is in here. And if you want a copy of it, just reach out. I'm happy to send you a link. I think it's on my YouTube channel anyway. So you can go and find it there. But listen, you have been watching episode 122. So why not go big? Why not go big? Just go for it. Go for it. You know, what does Joey say? Intentionally act on the thing that you want. Sit down, picture what it is that you want in your mind, and then take action. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't do it tomorrow. Do it today. And when you do it today, you're going to get the tomorrow that you want. You know? So anyway, right. Hold on a second. You're trying to get in touch with me. Right, listen. Good night. God bless everybody. Joey, I might see you on that call tonight at 3 o'clock in the morning. And see you next week.
You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. Now, do you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, by God, I'm going to change something. I always say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now, all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
If you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a place. There is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do. And you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your step. Set it so big it jazzes you. It really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite, do you want it? Not do you need it, not could you do it. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Take the lid off your marvelous mind and dream. For goodness sake, give yourself the right to do that. Get your analytical mind out of the way. Put it in your pocket for a while. All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind waken the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.
Thank you, Mark.
Good show, Joey. Well done. Amazing. Great job. Great job. Brilliant. Right. Oh shit. Oh no, that's fine. And yeah, you got a few hours to kill before you get on. You're looking sharp. I like it.
Thank you.
Really, that's what it's about. You know, it's about dressing up and showing up. That is really what it's about. You know?
Yeah.
And you know, you always feel better when you look better. You always, you know what I mean? You know, you do. So it's important, you know, and how you turn up makes a statement.
Absolutely.
It really does. You know, like I'm so proud of you, Joey. You know, you know, you're a real leader. You know, and your success is catching up with you. It really is. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Joey, I meant what I said. You know, like if I wasn't doing this with you every Sunday, you know,
Likewise,
I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be thinking the way I'm thinking. I wouldn't be focused on what I'm focused on. You know, like it might seem insignificant to some, but the bigger picture, you know, or my bigger picture is being shaped by what we do here. You know, and what I learn here, you know, what I learn from you, you know, and, you know, from the videos that we watch, you know, and the things that we talk about, you know, I learn from it, you know, and I think that's part of, you know, becoming, you know, and I'm just going to use that word becoming because it's, you know, because you can become anything you want. Yeah. Like if I want to, I can be a bum and I'll be the best one. I'll be the best one out there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, or, you know, I can choose to, you know, to become a business owner and, you know, take it seriously and be the best business owner that I can be. Do you know what I mean? You know, and try and be the most fairest, you know, and try and be the most kind and the most humble and all of these things, you know. But again, you know, my life is shaped because of what we do here. Yeah.
Likewise, Mike, and that's why I'm, you know, very grateful for it. Like I learn more in our program about Bob and his material because we've been go through. This is like a mastermind, and this is part of our responsibility to keep guard our mind and you know, develop our growth, and you know, because we did it every day, every week, and that's the thing about it. Like you said, what you say, it's just the same with me. You know, if I think if this we didn't have this, I think it will be hard. You know, the journey will be hard and lonely, and we didn't have something. And this is like a setup us for success in the next week coming. You
It is.
know,
It is.
and we do that, and we know that, and that's why we enjoy it. You know,
Yeah.
it's late in the
Yeah.
afternoon, but early in the morning for you. But man, that 1 hour, it's like we're feeding our energy, we're feeding our mind, our being, and look, what we do now. We're thinking big. We do big things
Exactly.
and challenge ourselves
Yeah.
because of the growth that we become by doing the things, by study about it, learn about it, and we go out there and trial it, and
Mm.
and it,
And you're right in what you're saying, Joe, about guarding your mind, right? You're so right in that because, obviously, 2 weeks ago, I had this, 10 days, less than 10 days ago, not last Thursday, the Thursday before, I had this, thought about starting my own network marketing company. On Monday, I had a conversation with somebody, about software. I had a conversation with Megan. I spoke to Heather and suggested to Heather what I was going to do, told her to keep it to herself. And the feedback that I'm getting, of course, I'm in an echo chamber anyway with people, who believe in big things. Do you know what I mean? Believe that you can have these possibilities, and I believe that I can. And then I had a meeting with somebody about some software, because you need to have the tools to be able to do it. And then this little fucking doubts just started creeping into my mind, right? And I swear to God, I literally had to stop myself and say, hold on a second, no, we're not going down that road. Do you know what I mean? We're going down this road. This is the road that I'm going down, the road of belief that I can do this. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It matters what I think. And I have to believe. If I don't fucking believe it, who's going to believe me? No one. I have to believe it.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I don't care. And it's not that I don't care, I do care, but that's why I don't care what anybody thinks. I really don't care, because it makes no difference to anybody else what I do, right? If what I'm doing is designed to help everybody who wants to be helped. If they don't want to be helped, fine. I don't have a problem with it. But if someone wants to be helped and someone wants to do something that they're passionate about and care deeply about, absolutely, this is the right thing for them, for sure. And it's the same for you, Joe, when it comes to, your isogenics business. It's the same for someone who wants to go and live in a lovely apartment. Do you know what I mean? With someone, who is going to help them achieve that dream. That's you. Right? So like when I think about, maybe, the handful of properties or the however many properties that you've got, that's just like, I think you're just going to times that by 10 or times that by 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or times it by 1,000. In fact, I sent you a link yesterday to Grant Cardone on I don't think you got it, actually. I don't know why my messages, I don't know whether my Twitter, my TikTok is being shadow banned, right? Because I can't seem to send messages. But I sent you, if you're not following Grant Cardone, follow Grant Cardone on TikTok, right? Because he does lives where he talks about property development and property rentals and stuff like this and different things that you can do and all that kind of stuff. So go and check it out. I did send it to you because he was on yesterday and I was watching it for a little bit. I thought, Joey, you'll love this. I'll send it and see if you can get it. And then my TikTok goes, no, can't send this. And I'm like, why? Do you know what I mean? What have I done? I must have upset somebody on TikTok. But anyway, I'm not bothered about that. But listen, I'm proud of you, Joey. You're making a real difference. You make a difference for me, and it helps me, and it focuses my attention on what I want to do. Just watching you succeed, right? So keep doing what you're doing, buddy. You're doing amazing.
Likewise, Mike. Right back to you, man. I can't do this without you, and your blessing has been, one of those people that always remind me,
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited that because when I start building this business, right, and I'm already started, right, because in my mind it's already kind of being done. So I'm thinking, right, okay, I need to find a venue in Australia. Joey's going to be one of my guest speakers to come on and talk about success. Talking to all these people. You and I, we're doing it together, buddy. We're doing it together. So I'm super excited.
Yeah. this is the way of setting up us for success and collaborate in a lot of way.
Why not? Why
Yeah.
not? Right, listen, I've got to run. I sent you a message in error on WhatsApp saying, give me 5 minutes. I was trying to tell my wife, give me 5 minutes, because she's off somewhere. I've got to run. But listen, great show, Joe. And
that's all.
Like always, I appreciate you. And
Likewise.
much love. Right, see you later.
Thank you.
Have a great time on that. I might try and get on. I might try and get a ticket. Right.
Yeah, I think it's actually 4 o'clock here in our time, because they changed time something. So you will see it when you if you register.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate you, Joe.
See you later. Let me know. I'll send it to you or something.
Do. Right.
It should be in Eric Worre.
I was on the GoPro 2025.com. All the information's there. So I checked it out. Right. See you later. You're muted. Fucking rookie. You're a fucking rookie.
I know. Tell me about it. Part of it. Can't go wrong. Okay.
See you later, Joe.
Bye.
Go back.